Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua. The Most High, the Heavenly Father, his Hebrew name is Yahweh. Not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not God, not Elohim, not Most High, not Lord, not Yah, not Jah, not Ahai, not Allah, not Abba, not Yahuwah. It's Yahweh. And his only God's son name in the Hebrew is Yahushua. Not Yahshua, not Yeshua, not Jesus Christos, not Jesus Christ, not Serapis Christos, not Yeshaya, not Yehoshua, not Yahusha. It's Yahushua. So we got to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rakab Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and other bishops and others of great millstone who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, ready concepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the doctrine, pushing his truth and believing his truth to the four winds of the earth. The entire world shedding light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Awaf who are listening and learning. If you sisters who are listening and learning. I'm Isaiah from GMS Atlanta Camp, coming at you another lesson in truth, faith, and edification, another daily edification, Lord willing be edifying. Again. So I titled this lesson, Two Foundations of Life to Build On. Is the rudiments of the world or the rudiments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Two foundations of life to build on. It's the rudiments of the so-called white man and his way of life, which is of the world, or it's the rudiments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. And I want to make some points. The Lord said not to envy the so-called white man. As is worded in Proverbs 3 and 31, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. The reason is, the only reason the so-called white man is in rulership, because the Lord was showing his power to us, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians. Because the sins that we committed against the Lord, he raised up the bases of men and set them in high regard, set them up and have them to be esteemed in the earth. Only reason. So the Lord said in Proverbs 3 and 31, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Because they was only set up to show the Lord's power. It's to anger. When we see that the so-called white man is in power, that's the Lord showing his power, man. And it angers you to know that when you learn his history and you find out the truth, dealing with the Bible and the Heavenly Father, which all scholars know that the God of the Bible, he's the God of the Hebrews. That's what the scholars say, the God of the Hebrews. So when you learn the ways of the Heavenly Father and you find out, and you learn about history, and you learn about these 18 nations, and you read in Deuteronomy 7 and 6 when the Lord said he chose Israel to be above all nations. And then you find out that you are the lowest nation on the planet. Like we even under the Hamites at this point. And the Hamites, we talking about doo-doo eating Hamites, man. The Lord put us on the bottom. He put us under even the Hamites. And the so-called white man is the basis of men. So when you understand that the Lord only used them to provoke us to see that we really messed up, for the Lord to set up the so-called white man, we really messed up. So again, the Lord said in Proverbs 3 and 31, envy thou not the oppressor and choose none of his ways. Because I just set him up just to show my power because y'all went off from me. So I want to start here in Psalm 73. Because this is what Asaph said. It reads, truly God is good to Israel, even to such as be of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. See, we was almost gone My steps have well nigh slipped, for I was envious at the foolish. Not no more. We're not envious at the so-called white man now. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. That's why you had, when you read about Lamech, he was boasting. He said, if Cain shall be avenged sevenfold, truly Lamech 70 and sevenfold. That was him boasting, because for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. And we were talking about this Saturday at camp about making a point. When the disciples asked the Lord, how many times shall you forgive your brother? They said 7. The Lord said, no, 70 and 7. Right? Well, that's on the right hand side. And see, they get the boast on the left hand side because right here, Psalm 73 and 5. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. See, the Lord gave the so-called white man a covering. That's why Cain said, let me get this. There's a covering on these Edomites. Now they are starting to fall. Because I just did a lesson on this last year. This guy, Harvey Weinstein, he got like 26 years, man. And he was the guru, the movie mogul in Hollywood, man. You know, they gave him 26 years. And he got billions of dollars. And he produced a lot of movie actors, females I'm talking about, that he slept with. So if they put him in prison, the average Edomite is through. And then you got the guy from the 70s show. I did a lesson on him and Harvey Weinstein. He got 30 years. But to show you the boasting, let me get this. Because this is what Cain said to the Lord. Let's go to it. Bear with me here. So this is what Cain said. So in Genesis 4, the Lord said, and now, Genesis 4 and 11, and now art thou cursed from the earth. This word curse is a buzzword. Proverbs 3 and 33, it said, the curse of the Lord is in the house of the wicked. Who is the wicked according to the Bible? According to the Lord, who's the wicked? It's the so-called white man, the Edomites. That's Malachi 1, 3, and 4. And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. This was the Lord told Cain, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. Now to put this in perspective of today's time, what do the Edomites do when they're farming? They use pesticides, all different type of ways to grow crops. Well, at this point now they're making artificial food, so they don't need pesticides no more, because everything not gonna be lab grown. The point is, when they was farming, right? Our forefather Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob didn't need no pesticides. They didn't need Roundup and all this, whatever they use to keep the insects off the crops when they're growing. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob didn't need this, man. They didn't use this. This is modern day Edomite stuff. Why? When thou tillest the ground, it shall not yield, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. And we see that happening through the crops. Even though food in the 80s and 90s, in the 70s and the 80s was real food, but it wasn't yielding this full strength. Because grapes, when you read the history, when you read the story, when we went to go spy the land in Numbers, the grapes, it said it took 2 men to bear one cluster of grapes. So that means a cluster of grapes, one grape had to be the size of a basketball. One grape on a cluster. If it took 2 men to bear a cluster of grapes on a staff, that means the grapes had to be the size of a basketball, man. So the Lord said, when thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth, or let's say One grape was the size of a grapefruit now, or a cantaloupe, right? Or a honeydew melon. The grapes had to be, I would say a honeydew melon. Let's say that. The grapes, for 2 men to bear a cluster of grapes on a staff, had to be the size of a honeydew melon. When thou tillest the ground, it shall not henceforth yield unto thee her strength. A fugitive and a vagabond shall thou be in the earth. Here's the point I want to make. And Cain said unto Yahweh, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. Here's the point. And it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Right? So here's what the Lord said when Cain said that. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain. This is the covering. This is the covenant the Lord told Cain when he said, Cain said, Genesis 4:14, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Yeah, who was this little albino running in the earth with no pigment? Who is this? Catch him and kill him. The Lord said, soon he said that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. Because everybody knew what Cain did to Abel, right? For no cause, because of a sacrifice. And the Lord said instantly unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, that's the Lord giving Cain a covering, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yahweh said, a mark upon Cain, least finding him, least any finding him should kill him. So when you see the leprosy on these people, you know, man, don't worry about him, man. The Lord did that to him. So don't envy what he do, even if he's prospering. Don't envy this leprous bastard, because the Lord set them in slippery places. Don't worry about envying him. And what the Lord do? To show his power, to show us how far we went off, he gave them the riches, he gave them the best parts of the earth. That's what Isaac told them. Right? And the Lord again said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. So the Lord said that to anybody that want to mess with the Edomites, because we have found out that these bastards is under, these are our servants. The Lord put a hedge on them right then. Here it is, Psalm 7, 3 and 5. They are not in trouble as other men. Let's go back and read 1, because Esau was pissed off when he saw this for a moment, and that was us when we found out the truth. Now, growing up, we always knew it was somebody, these Edomites, it was just some about them. But then you heard the truth, you're like, okay, truly God is good to Israel, even to such as of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is great. See, there are no bands in their death. Right? What's this word bands? Let's look at this real quick. There's bands in the Israelites' death. This word bands. Come on. They don't want to play for me.
Strong's H 2784. Chatzov. Chatzov.
See, it say of uncertain, fetter, a pain, pains, fetter, bond. There are no bonds. There are no uncertainty in their death, man. But they tell you, they told her we supposed to fear death. We supposed to be scared to die. Let's go back to it. Asaph say, for there are no bands in that death. See, their death is certain. Jake, when you, if one of us die, money got to be gathered together. They got the bag. Now the common Edomites don't got the bag no more. The ones that we see every day at the plantation or the grocery store, but they had generational wealth and white privilege. But there are no uncertainties. The word ban is said uncertainty in their death. They good. They already got they already got they funeral plans, they plots already picked out, the money, the family covered, all that, man. But their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men. Why? Because the Lord put a hedge around Cain. He said, if anyone find Cain and slay him, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. Neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain, violence covered them as a garment. Their eyes stand out with fatness, they have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression, they speak loftily. They set their mouth against the heavens, which are the Israelites, Yahweh and Yahweh and the angels. They change the images, right? And their tongue walketh through the earth, through their laws, their policies, their legislations. Because they got the fatness of the earth. That was their blessing. Now, Asaph said, right here, verse 17, until I went into the sanctuary of God, then understand how their end. So now we understand the end of the so-called white man. So we should not be envying him. Because what he have taught us is get your education. You get your education, then you can get the bag. Once you get the bag because of your education, because you learned his rudiments. There's two rudiments, and I'm going to read to you in Colossians 2 and 8. It's the rudiments of the so-called white man, and it's the rudiments of Yahweh Shema Shai. That's it. Until I went into the sanctuary of God, then understand I their end. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. This slippery place represents a house built on sand, which I'm going to read. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places, thou castest them down into destruction. How are they brought into desolation? As in a moment. They are utterly consumed with terrors. The terrors is coming from the king of terror, Yahweh, through Yahweh Shai. As a dream when one awaketh, so, O Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise thy image. So Asaph said, until I went into the sanctuary of God, then understand I their end. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places, thou casted them down to destruction. So don't worry about envying them. See, he said he was. He said he was right here in verse 3. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. And that's Jake today. They look at what the so-called white man got and like, man, God got to be dealing with them. God got to look like him. All that. No, man. The Lord just showed us his power by raising up the bases of men. So I want to make that point dealing with Cain. The Lord put a hedge around them. Then to tell you in Deuteronomy, this is Deuteronomy. So we had to go to our enemy for the one of all things, right? The Lord said, Deuteronomy 28 and 47. Because thou servest not Yahweh thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Therefore just shalt thou serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger, food, and in thirst, water, and in nakedness, clothes, and in the one of all things. Food, transportation, that's housing, transportation, work, schooling. So that's 7 things: hunger, thirst, nakedness, transportation, housing, work, schooling. That's 7 things. That's completion. So we gotta go to the so-called white man for food, for water, clothes, transportation, housing, work, schooling. That's 7 things, man. We gotta go to them for everything. Right? He said, and one of all things, and he shall put a yoke iron upon thy neck until he had destroyed thee. So your education came from the so-called white man. And what he taught you was, let me get this. Don't worry about following the ways of the Lord. They taught us to follow their ways. Colossians 2 and 8. This is a heavy word. This word rudiments is heavy. Colossians 2 and 8 reads, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Mashiach. So after the rudiments of the world, not after Hamashiach, right? Not after Yahweh Shai. So what's rudiments? So I'm gonna get it here and show you on blue letter, but Google give you more words. So we was following the ways, the rudiments of the so-called white man.
Strong's G 4747. Stoichion. Stoichion.
Almost sound like Stockholm syndrome or Stockholm. Almost. See, it say any first thing from which the others belong to, from which the others belonging to some serious or composite whole take their rise and element first principles. The letters of the alphabet as the elements of speech. What do we learn your speech from? You went to you had to go to you had to go to Head Start, right? All of us had to go to Head Start. Most of us went to Head Start, right? Preschool, first grade, preschool, kindergarten, first grade, however it is, right? The letters of the alphabet as the elements of speech, right? It's the elements from which all things have come, the material causes of the universe. You got all this from the so-called white man. It said the elements, rudiments, primary, and fundamental principles of any art, science, or discipline, i.e., of mathematics, geometry. Did not we get all this from the so-called white man? There's not one of us to say that we didn't get it from the so-called white man. Not one of us. We all had to go through the same process as the Edomites did. Something orderly in arrangement. The so-called white man. It's a fundamental, what is it? Initial, right? Constituent, proposition, element, principle, rudiment. Let's see what this G47, 48 say. All this came from the so-called white man. Look, to proceed in a row, that's at school. Desks lined up behind each other. To proceed in a row as a march of a soldier, go in order. You had to walk down the side. You had to walk down the hall in a single file line to the lunchroom. To go on prosperously, to turn out well, to walk, to direct one's life, to live. See, this is the rudiments that came from the so-called white man. And if anyone of you say any other different, you'll be lying. To conform to virtue and piety. Go look that word up. Walk orderly, to march in military rank, keep step, to range in regular line. This came from the so-called white man. Now let's get the word rudiments. I'm gonna go to Google because it give you a few more of these words. So the word rudiment. See, this is heavy. And there's only two ways, there's only two foundations of life, man. Two. It's the rudiments of the world, right here. Beware lest any man spoil you through the philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Yahweh Shah Mashiach. So this word rudiment, and this is heavy. This word rudiment. Let's play it here. Rudiment. Rudiment, right? The first principles. So similar words, it's a basic principles, basics, fundamentals, elements, essentials, first principles, beginnings, foundation. See, this is the foundation of the so-called white man. Now, and everybody that watch my lesson, I had to go through this word all the time, man. Ephesians, let's get this. Ephesians 2 and 1. This where we was at, man. We was following the ways of the so-called white man. Either you made it through high school, you went to college, you got your PhD or bachelor's or associate or some kind of degree, doctrine of life, right? Some kind of way. If you don't go to school, if you didn't finish school, if you finished school or didn't finish school and went to college, or you didn't go to college, then you made it being a rapper. Or you made it playing sports. You was an entertainer, a movie actor. Either way, it's the rudiments of the so-called white man, right? If you wind up making it to a point, you got big as a dope boy. Well, where do you get it from? Where do you get? Who were the first dope boys? Don't worry, I'll wait. Who were the first dope boys? They showed you Lucky Luciano. They showed you Maya Linsky. They showed you Al Capone. They showed you it's a lot of them, man. I used to watch all the time these movies. What's this guy name? I can't even think of the other names, man. Before Bumpy Johnson and Frank Lucas, right? You had these Al Capones, Maya Lansky's, Lucky Luciano. What's his other guy name? Is John Gotti. Those was they Edomites, man. Edomites. Now some of them Italians probably were Jake, but it was Edomites, man. What's this guy name in the movie? I can't think of the other guy name. Dash Dillinger, right? Them different guys. But they showed you that it was Edomites, man. Bootlegging, right? Bootlegging. And went to drugs, man. All that come from the so-called white man. That's not none of Israelites' customs. So this is Ephesians 2 and 1, it reads. And Shalom to the Akim from the coming boy. Shalom. Shalom. Yabashim Shah Barakatham. So Ephesians 2 and 1, and you have he quickened. As I always read in Isaiah 11, Yahweh quickened Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shah quickened the remnant. And you have he quickened, who were dead in trespasses. So you got Isaiah 11, 1 through 4, Yahweh quickened Yahweh Shah. And when you read John 6, after the Lord said, eat his flesh and drink his blood, in John 6, like 45 on down, so you get to John 6 and 63, the Lord say, it's the spirit that quickeneth, right? So he quickened the elect. It say, wherein in time past ye walked according to the course of this world. Because we was in the world. We was trying to, whatever you was trying to do, you was trying to get your bachelor's or master's or associates, right? A PhD, whatever degree, doctrine of life. You was trying to be a rapper, or you was trying to make it as a playing sports, right? Whatever it was, whatever, it don't matter what it is, what you was trying to do, a doctor, right? Brain surgeon, no matter what it is. It was the ways of Esau Edom. It was his rudiments, right? Because it said the rudiments said the first principles, nuts and bolts, ABCs, his foundation, his beginnings, right? You had to go to kindergarten. You had to go through Head Start first. They call it Head Start, right? Head Start, preschool, kindergarten, first grade. You had to go through the so-called white man system. Where in time past you walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. Because it tell you in 2 Corinthians 10 and 6, now that the Lord have reactivated the hopeful elect, their disobedience has been fulfilled in obedience. And it say, when your obedience is fulfilled, we are ready to defend the gospel, man. It reads, among whom also we all had our conversation in times past in the lust of our flesh, fulfilling the desires of the flesh and of the mind, and were by nature the children of wrath, even as others. Right? This where we was at. This is Colossians. Let's go to Colossians 3 and 5. Matter of fact, let's read up. So this Colossians 3 and 1, it reads, see, put on the new self. See, the old self is what Esau want, and he can't get back. The old me is gone. It's Isaiah now. If ye then, Lord willing, I do it to the end, Lord willing. If ye then be risen with Mashiach, because it tell you in Romans 6, it said the old man died with Yahushua, and as Yahushua died, the old man died. So now we have been renewed in the resurrection of Yahushua. If you then be risen with Mashiach, seek those things which are above, which is what we was in the beginning. The Lord said He's gonna do better unto us as at our big beginnings. And there's 3 precepts I can get on that. He's gonna do better unto us as at our beginnings. So it says, seek those things which are above, which going back to us having a pure mind. As Peter said, He's gonna stir up our pure mind by way of remembrance. Well, Mashiach sitteth on the right hand of power. Set your affections on things above, not on things on the earth. That's why I tell you in 2 Ezra 14 and 15, set aside from thee the most heavy thoughts, cast away the burdens of man, put off not a weak nature. Because what we was taught from the so-called white man is, think about death. Think about how your children lacking. You got to get the bag. You got to do whatever necessary to get the bag. But in Matthew 6 and 33, the Lord said, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and his righteousness, and everything else will be added. And now we know the whole time, our whole life, when you were doing whatever you was doing in the world, it was the Lord that had you, man. You thought it was you doing it. Man, I got this house. I got this car. I snapped on them niggas and put 28s on the old school Monte Carlo. That was me. Nah, that was the Lord, man. In wickedness, but in righteousness. Holding you back from other things, man, because it's all gone now. And you hearing the truth. It's where you at now. You was out there grinding, selling dope, rapping, doing concert, doing shows, about to blow up. And the Lord snatched you out of it. Set your affection on things above, not on things on the earth. For ye are dead, and your life is hid with Mashiach in power. That's in Romans 6. When Mashiach, who is our life, shall appear, then shall ye also appear with him in glory. Because it tell you in Philippians 3 that we're going to have a body like Yahushua's. Also in was that 1 John 3. It reads, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth, fornication, uncleanness, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. For which things sake the wrath of God cometh on the children of disobedience, in the which ye also walked sometimes when ye lived in them. We was there too, man. But now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice. And though we get angry sometimes, you know that's the Lord testing you, man. Our everyday life, it don't matter what, it can be the smallest thing, man. That's the Lord testing you to see how you're going to react. Because you got to understand, the Lord said in Isaiah 1 that He's raising up judges as at the last. And if you easily get angry at the smallest things, think about it. Are you worthy enough to be a judge? To judge righteous and wicked matters? But we get angry at anything? No, man. It said, but now ye also put off all these anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth, which is talking about other philosophies, talking about nothingness. Niggas talk about sports all day. Niggas talk about these thoughts all on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, tweeter, toot, teat, all that garbage shit. None of it is righteous conversation, right? Which tell you in what that Second Peter 3, right? Your conduct. It say, but now ye also pull off all these anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, saying that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge. This is daily knowledge after the image of him that created him. I was listening to the elder brothers. You got the brothers Yashalom and the other brothers in the GMS New York camp, right? The camp is it's titled GMS 51st Street. And the elder Taza Doc, man, he was man, the elder, man, when I say that elder is deep, man, like with history, which you gotta be. So he was saying, I was listening to, let me see which one it was. He was going to the point how the Ukraine is the ancient Khazarian Empire, man. He said those were the Khazars, and then right there where Ukraine at, them fucking Edomites, those the Khazars, man. He was just going into so much today, man. I was just like overwhelmed with sucking up all that, cause I didn't hear it, I never heard it. What was that? What was it? Trying to see what name of it. GMS 51st Street and 7th Bar. Yeah, it was the GMS New York City Saturday camp. Man, the elder, man, and that elder, man, I love listening to the elder, man. Cause that elder be dropping that. I mean, the elder be dropping them F bombs, man. But he was going to the point how Ukraine, man, them Edomites. And I got a lesson too on from the man. I got another video. It's like a 12-minute clip from the play. How they killing women and children over there, man, in Gaza, man. Them Edomites are killing women and children, man. And when I heard the video when I got a plantation today, all I could think about was when the Lord said they should not regard the old or young, man. We was dealing with the Israelites, they ain't gonna regard none of us, but they doing it to them. And I was like, man, good, man. Cause what Elam and Ishmael and Ham did to us, man, the Lord been jacking them devils up for a long time. We just ain't know about it. But now we get to see it play out in real time. There's another clip. The guy told me because Israel just bombed Gaza, it killed 22 people. 18 of them was children. The other was women. But they said they found like 180 bodies. Women and children, man. Esau don't give a damn, man. Hey, but the Lord is jacking them up. Hey, but what y'all did to us. But anyway, I'm gonna get back to that. So let me get these precepts because the foundation that we are being built on now is Yahweh Shai. So I want to get Joshua 1 and 8. And Lord willing, I'm gonna get that lesson in. That's why I said, let me go knock this lesson out right here. Let me knock that lesson out right here because I want to get to that lesson. I got these two clips. One of them 12-minute clip from the news, from this outside of American news. Lord willing, I'm finna get it in today on that. Lord willing. This is Joshua 1 and 8. Because there's two foundations of life to build on. The rudiments of the Edomites, or you building on Yahweh Shema Shai. Shalom to the Akim, and I walk to the end again, Yahweh Shema Shai Brakatham. So this is Joshua 1 and 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but that thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is within, that is all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. And we read this a lot to these guys that come up to camp. The one guy, I don't know if y'all was watching, but Saturday I said, bro, the guy come up every time. We ain't seen him like months. So every time he come, he look at the signs and he'll walk off. I said, and I told him, I said, bro, it's the same sign you see every time you come up here. He came up about a month or two ago, maybe a few months now. And he was asking, like, what can we do to get out of this? I said, bro. So I had brother get Joshua 1 and 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. All that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Right? This is Deuteronomy chapter 10 and verse 12. It reads, and now, Israel, what doeth Yahweh thy God require of thee, but to fear Yahweh thy power, to walk in all his ways, and to love him, and to serve Yahweh thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul. This is Psalms 32. Now, this Psalm 32, you want to start reading at 5. Because it tells you that they that acknowledge their offense before the Lord. It said only the godly will do this. It's Psalms 32 and 8. I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye. This is Isaiah 48 and 17. It reads, thus saith Yahweh, thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. I am Yahweh thy God, which teacheth thee to profit, which leadeth thee by the way that thou shouldest go. Right? I want to get two precepts in Proverbs. Now, this is Proverbs 3. Let me find this. It's been a minute since I read this. Let's just go here. So in Proverbs 3, right here, verse 19, it reads, Yahweh by wisdom hath founded the earth, by understanding have he established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. That's in Deuteronomy 32 and 2. And he's dropping it down, just like when you wake up in the morning and the grass got water on it. This is how the knowledge of the Lord hath covered the earth, like waters cover the sea, like it said in Habakkuk 2 and 14. Every morning it's dew on the ground, everywhere, on all the grass, everywhere, man. That's the knowledge of the Lord now on the earth, man. That's why Esau has lost the information war. My son, let not them depart from thy eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. So shall they be life unto thy soul and grace to thy neck. Then shalt thou walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. When thou layest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yeah, thou shalt lie down, and thou shalt sleep, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Now, this is in Proverbs 4. Let's get this one. This whole chapter is fire, but I want to hit this point. This is Proverbs 4 and 20. It reads, my son, attend to my words, incline thy ear unto my sayings. Let them not depart from thy eyes, keep them in the midst of thine heart, for they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. See, remember I tell you in Psalm 68, it said the Lord is the issues of death. Right. So it's another one. Let me go back up. Because it said that these scriptures shall be health. I think that's in Proverbs 3. Let me go back over here. It shall be health to thy navel. Right here. Proverbs 3 and 5. Trust in Yahweh with all thine heart and lean on to thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths, man. Either you believe this, you know this, or you don't. Be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear Yahweh and depart from evil. It shall be health to thy navel. When you was in your mother's womb, what was connected to you? Your umbilical cord, man. This is the connection to Yahweh Shema Shai, man. This is the spiritual connection, man. It shall be health to thy navel. So the predestinated ones has always been connected to the Lord. That's why the Lord said in Jeremiah 24, he said, Jeremiah, what did I see? He said, I see a basket of good figs and a basket of evil figs. Right? The basket of good figs, it said, they that be first ripe, which is the first fruits. They always had connection to the Lord, but they all had to fall. What they said in the world, one bad apple spoiled a whole bunch. It said, it shall be health to thy neighbor and marrow to thy bones. Let me prove that. There's a precept I read when I did this lesson the other day about dealing with Yahushua. In Romans 5, let me show this real quick. The righteous had to fall with the wicked, man. Look at this. This is Romans 5 and 12. Wherefore, as by one man's sin entered into the world, and death by sin. This world is talking about Israelites. It ain't talking about the heathens. Them niggas can't commit sin. They wasn't given the law. This world is talking about the Israelites. And death by sin. And so death passed unto all men, for that all have sinned. To my Israelites. For unto the law, sin was in the world, but sin is not imputed when there is no law. Nevertheless, death reigned from Adam to Moses, even over them that had not sinned, after the similitude of Adam's transgression, who is the figure of him that was to come, which is Yahweh Shah. So it say, even over them that had not sinned. So the righteous had to fall too. That's Job 34 and 29. Whether he judge a man only or a nation. And he judged us as a nation, man. Because when one city, the here brother Naharia made this point a while ago. When one city went off, because you had the elders at the gates, right? So you had the elders, which is the Lord reestablishing the elders right now. When you see brothers all over the city, all over the world, brothers in Holland, brothers in Bolivia, brothers in Barbados, you got brothers in London, brother in Australia. These are elders at the gates. Whether you can accept it or not, whether you can acknowledge this or not, these are the elders at the gates in ancient time, man. I've been on that heavy lately, man, because the Lord said in Ezekiel 11:16, he's going to be a little sanctuary to where he scattered us at, man. These are the elders at the gates. So the righteous had to fall with the wicked, man. That's how the Lord set it up. It's heavy, heavy, man. But they always had the connection to the Lord. Even though they had to fall, what did the Lord tell Jeremiah? Even thou shalt discontinue from thy heritage. Jeremiah was running from the brother in the camp Gabah. His child is homesick Israelite, brother with edifying lessons. You know, we call him elder. He older than us, he elder brother. Man, he called him firewood. He called him Jeremiah firewood Israelites, man. Jeremiah was running from niggas, man. They wanted to kill Jeremiah ass. But the Lord said, listen, even you, what Smoker the Bell say? Even you shall discontinue from your heritage, man. That's heavy, man. But it shall be health to thy navel and marrow to thy bones. Now, let's go back to this, because I want to make the point. Now, the Lord have reactivated you to this truth, and now you are building. We ain't building. That was a time, man, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, no matter what you were doing in the world, you was building and you was adding to Esau's infrastructure, man. And of course, it was all in wickedness, but you were still adding to His foundation, man. That's what we was doing. 1 Corinthians 3. We was adding to the so-called white man's infrastructure, man. And now, and it's heavy, man. This is heavy because now that the whole elect is not adding to the so-called white man's infrastructure, it's being deteriorated. It says 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8, by the Spirit of the Lord's mouth, man, shall this man be consumed, and then by the brightness of Yahushua is coming. But first, it's through the words of the Lord. Because there was a time when nobody was speaking against the so-called white man. But then the 60s came. And oh boy, the nigga been falling ever since then. The Lord said, when you set your nest amongst the stars, that's when I bring them down. Then he gave women's liberation to go to work. And there was Edomite women, right? He put Edomite women to work. Then their kids had to go to school. There wasn't no more homeschooling. Now they was getting, even though they all Edomite, they would get Edomite supremalized, right? They women had to go to work. And the biggest people that's on government assistance is the so-called white people, man. And the most crime is done on the earth. 60% of the crime in the earth is done by so-called white people. So now the Edomites look around like, why is these niggas on government assistance? This was set up for us. We try to tell Jake, the apostles been told you years. You don't got no constitutional right. I got right to bear speech and right to bear arms. That applied to the Edomites, you slow belly niggas. Just because you can do it now, that wasn't for you. It was for the so-called white man. That's why Trump said, make America great again. Because it was only great when it was all white fountains. What they said on Life, all white pies. He said, but how to turn that pie to nigger pie? Listen, man, none of this is for you. But we was adding to the so-called white man foundation when we was in the world. But the Lord said, nope. He told the angel, hey, tap him on the head, man. Pull him back, because he about to walk off a cliff. Grab her, snatch her up, pull her back, pull him back. Now we are adding to the foundation of Yahweh Shema Shai. Now, this is 1 Corinthians 3 and 10. According to the grace of God, which we have all received, the sure mercies of David, man. According to the grace of God, which is given unto me as a wise master builder. What it says in Psalms 19 and 7, the Lord say, he converted the soul, right, of the simple and made them wise. I love to read Psalms 116 and 6 because it reads, the Lord preserve the life of the simple, right? He said, preserve the simple. And did what? Make the simple wise. Psalms 19 and 7. Converting the soul through the law, and he made the simple wise, man. So, according to the grace of God, which is given unto me as a wise master builder, because you got to understand, you got to eat this role. Well, how shall I say, be wise as serpents and harmless as doves, man. We supposed to be defending the gospel. We supposed to be defending the gospel at 144% cost, man. As a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth their own. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahweh Shah Mashiach. Esau foundation is laid too, the left-hand side. Now, if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stones, wood, hay, stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire. What John said, that Yahweh shall baptize you with the Holy Spirit and with fire. And the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. If any man's work abide, which he hath built thereupon, he shall receive a reward. If any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss, but he himself shall be saved. Why? Yet so as by fire. And that's why I tell you in Isaiah 24 and 15, glorify ye the Lord through the fires, man. So this verse right here, right? It says, if any man's work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss. but he himself shall be saved, yet so as by fire. Let's say you was dealing with some you I had a friend. He was my best friend in the world. And when I started learning in 2015, he just cleaved to it. And every day when he left the plantation, he was up my ass, learning the truth. He was, bro, I'm coming. Like we was watching the apostles. We was going, he was, then all of a sudden, after a year, he just stopped. He just stopped. Love the brother to death. He just stopped. Couldn't stop smoking weed. So for me, if any man work shall be burned, he shall suffer loss. So the energy that I put into him, it was gone, man. Maybe the Lord will bring him back in the end. I don't know. But as of right now, it was burned, man. And I suffered a loss because I put my energy into that. And then his wife's cousin started learning. And the last thing he told me, he said, bro, I don't got to do this every day. I said, bro, yes, you do. And that was the last time he said something to me, my best friend, wife, cousin. He said, bro, I don't got to do this every day. That was it. I've been doing this every day since 2015, man. Every day. But he himself shall be saved, yes, so as by fire. Lord willing. Lord willing, man. Let me get this. Ephesians. But we are building on Yahweh Shai, man. And you got to know how you build it. You got to know how you building and who you building with, man. And it had been revealed. It'll tell you in First Corinthians 2 and 15. No, First Corinthians 4 and 15. Though you have 10,000 instructors in Hamashiach, yet have you not many fathers. And we have spiritual fathers, which are the apostles of GMS, man. In the order, Apostle Taha, Apostle Gabal, Apostle Rakar, and Apostle Ramlad, man. And the elder bishops. This is Ephesians 2 and 11. And it reads, wherefore remember that ye be in the time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called circumcision, in the flesh made by hands. That at the time you were without Mashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope, and without God in the world. But now in Mashiach Yahushua, ye who sometimes were far off are made nigh by the blood of Mashiach. See, far off being scattered. So it say down here, verse 19. Now therefore you are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints and of the household. See, this is a household, man. And the household is the tabernacle of David. It tell you in 1 Peter 2 and 5, ye as lively stones are built up a spiritual house, a holy temple, right? It say, and of the household of God, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahweh Shah Mashiach himself being the chief cornerstone, in whom all the building fitly framed together. 1 Peter 2 and 5 say, ye as lively stones. Each brother is a brick, a block, a brick to the tabernacle, man. To the tabernacle, man. In whom all the building fitly framed together perfectly. It tells you in Ephesians 4 that we all got to reach the full measure of the stature of Yahweh Shai. Perfectly, man. Whatever your lot is. In whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord. 1 Corinthians 17 says the temple of the Lord is us. 1 Corinthians 6, 19 and 20, 2 Corinthians 6, 16 and 17. Ephesians 2 and 22, in whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of God through the Spirit. So you had Esau that taught us to build our house on sand, man. This is, let me get this. in Isaiah 28 and 16, it reads, Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, behold, I lay in Zion a foundation, a stone, a tried stone. Because it tell you in 2 Timothy 2 and 6 that the husbandman had to be first partakers of the fruits. And when you read James 5 and 7, it said, now the husbandman, he waiting for the precious fruit of the earth. Now Yahweh, he done made it. He back where he belong at. Now he waiting on the elect. He waiting on the elect men to finish their course, man. A tried stone, a precious cornerstone, a what? A sure foundation. He that believe shall not make haste. Now, real quick, there's a precept to this in First Peter 2 and 6. And we building on the foundation of Yahweh Shah, man. But we was building on Esau's foundation, man. Picture that. First Peter 2 and 6. Wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, which I read in Isaiah 28. Behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect. Yahweh Shah is the first elect, precious, and he that believe on him shall not be confounded. Now I want to get here. This is 1 John 2 and 15. Because this is where we was at, man. We was building on Esau's foundation. So like it. We was building on Esau's foundation, man. Oh, okay, I see why. Spelled John wrong. My bad. Hold on here. But this is 2/3 that still love the world, man. Love not the world, neither the things are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. And to tell you, when you read in Psalms 23, the word valley, it say pride, man. Hold on, let me show you. Because it say after the pride of life. Let's get this. Psalms 23. Show this real quick. Psalm 23 and 4. Yet thou walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod, which is to be corrected, and thy staff, which is to comfort, they comfort me. So we was corrected by the judgment of the Lord. We was corrected, man. But he said he nourished us with discipline. Ecclesiastes 17 and 17, and other scriptures. Isaiah 1, he said, I nourished and brought up children, but they rebelled against me. So Jacob got beat over the head because to tell you in Jeremiah 5, he said he's stricken us, but we have not grieved, 2/3. So the Lord done beat the shit out of Jacob, and their asses ain't grieving. That's why Paul said in 1 Corinthians 4:21, shall I come to you in love or with a rod? Paul, like, man, I don't want to come to you beating you over the head with these scriptures, but that's what I got to do. That's what I'm going to do. The Lord said, persuade them, right? He said, persuade. He said, compel them to come in that my house may be filled. Another word for compel is persuade. So Paul said in 1 Corinthians 4:21, shall I come to you in love or with a rod? Either way, I'm coming. Thus saith the Lord. But this word valley right here, right? Show you something. This word valley. And the water to the elder brother. Elder brother our Rum from GMS Birmingham, because when he came down, he hit us with this, man. This is heavy, man. So this word valley, right? When you go to the Strong's H1466, look at this, man. Can't make this shit up. Pride, a lifting up, exaltation, arrogance, lifting up pride. Look what the words say though. Gay,
Strong's H1466. Geva.
Right? That's a strong definition. But when you first go to this word valley, he say what?
Strong's H 1516. First entry. Gah. Gah. Second entry. Gay. Gay. Third entry. Gah. Gah.
Which is pride, man. Which is pride. So going back to this, 1 John 2:15, let not the world neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. What Job said in Job 10, when I shall go where I shall not return, in the land of darkness, even as darkness is silver, there is no order. And the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passeth away in the lust thereof, but he that doeth the will of power, Yahweh Shema shall abide forever. See, we was adding to the so-called white man's foundation, man. And not even understanding that the Lord was destroying this bastard's kingdom, man. But we still was adding to it. Destroying our own people, adding to the so-called white man's foundation. James 4:4, ye adulterers and ye adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore shall be a friend of the world is enemy of God. That's why the Lord say, enmity not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways, because this is the enmity with the Lord. Right? Esau and Jacob. Two separate nations. That's why the Lord said in Genesis 3:15, I'm going to put enmity between thee, between thy seed and her seed. That's why I tell you in Revelation 12:17, and the dragon is wroth with the woman. Because it tell you in Genesis 3:15, I'm going to put enmity between thee and the woman. See? It was never meant, man, to envy this nigga. And it tell you in Ezekiel 35, let me show it to you, that he envy us, man. Ezekiel. Let me get this. I got one more precept and I'm closed. Ezekiel 35:10. This nigga envy us, man. Well, we run around here. That's why Esau said, for I was envious at the foolish. He said, until he went to the sanctuary of the Lord, then he understood that latter end. We shouldn't be envious of this so-called white men. The Lord only raised them up to show us his power, to show us how bad we went off. For the Lord to raise up some dust bunnies. We went off, man. This is Ezekiel 35:11. It reads, therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh power, I will even do according to thy anger, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of the hatred against them. See, the nigga really envy us, man. Remember what Balaam said? I wish that my latter end could be like theirs, and I will make myself known among them. That's Ecclesiastes 36. When the Lord said, when we said, magnify thyself among us or before them, when I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. See, you go to that Sirach 36. And this is what the Lord is doing by having understanding great boldness in front of the so-called white man. The Lord is showing his power. Another precept I got, 2 Timothy 2:19. Just the top of this, because it's talking about the foundation of the Lord, man, which is said in Isaiah 28 and 1 Peter 2. Nevertheless, 2 Timothy 2:19, the foundation of God standeth sure. So if you building on Yahweh Shah, this is a sure foundation. Because this, in Matthew 7:24, it reads this. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and do them, I will liken him unto a wise man. See, they go to the word wise again. A wise master builder, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house. Because this is a sure foundation. This house is a sure foundation, man. The tabernacle of David is a sure foundation, and it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them not shall be likened unto a foolish man, which is the so-called white man, and 2/3 of Jake, because they tell you in Jeremiah 4:22 that Israel is foolish, they are sightless children. But Job said they are children of fools, base men, the Edomites. So they foolish, 2/3 foolish, which built his house upon the sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. Hold on. It say, and great was the fall of it, right? What it say in Isaiah 31? Let me show it to you. Isaiah 31:1. Anyone that's standing with Esau, Edom, they're gonna fall, man. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help and stay on horses and trust in chariots because there are many, and in horsemen because they are very strong, but they look not to the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. Yet he also is wise and will bring evil and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of the evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity. See, the help is the so-called white man. The evildoers is 2/3 Israel. Now the Egyptians are men and not God, and their horse is flesh and not spirit. When Yahweh shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth, the so-called white man, shall fall, and he that is hoping means to be helped, shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. See? So the so-called white man has taught our people to build a house on sand, but Yahweh Shah pulled up and said, build your house on this rock. Closing precept, Psalms 27:5. The Lord sent his Holy Spirit down here like dew. Psalms 27:5. For in the time of trouble, he shall hide me in his pavilion. What is this? The sure foundation. This pavilion is built on a sure foundation. In the secret of his tabernacle, right? The tabernacle of David, shall he hide me. He shall set me up upon a rock. See, the Lord was edifying. Got to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rikak, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles, now the bishop, elders of great millstone, who rule well, who teach well, who are the apostles, nails of all of Israel, whether accepted or not. And a sincere salutation to all the Akim, pushing this truth and believing this truth to the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shed light to the hopeful elect. Hey, the water tuning in. Hey, may the blessing of election be upon your houses. May Yahweh Shemam shall continue to bless you in your house. Hey, the water for all the precepts, the water for tuning in, the water for posting these precepts, man. The water, man. But as Adam and Eve, it said that they sewed fig leaves together, right? And took a covering of the nations. Well, the Lord said, the Lord has given us, what's that song, Isaiah 61, the garments of Isaiah 60, the garments of praise, right? For the what was that? Let me get it. Let me get it. See now, man, call Allah Yahweh Shema Shah for this truth, man. Cause now we have a covering. Ooh, you know what? I gotta get that. Yup, right here. To appoint unto them, Isaiah 61:3, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them the beautiful ashes, the oil of joyful mourning, the garments of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they may be called trees of righteousness. That's in Psalm 1:1. The planting of Yahweh, that he may be glorified. Thinking about this, Isaiah 30. Because Adam and Eve sowed fig leaves together, man, which they took a covenant of the nations. And that's this precept proved that. Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children of Yahweh that take counsel. What counsel? The rudiments of the fucking so-called white man. That's what we took, man. Woe to the rebellious children of Yahweh that take counsel. That's the rudiments of the world, but not of me. And what else? That cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. And I love to make this point, right? One more point. I got to make this. Deuteronomy 28. What did it say here? Let me show it to you. So when we read this, it say, therefore should I serve thy enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness. Right? So we liken that to clothes, right? Because it say in hunger and thirst and nakedness. So you liken it to clothes, right? Also, this is the covering of the nations, man. Let's get this word nakedness.
Strong's H 5903. Arom. Arom.
See, it say nudity.
Second entry. Arom. Arom. Third entry. Arom. Arom.
So it say naked, nakedness, nudity, naked, right? So you think Adam and Eve was in the garden, butt booty naked? No.
Strong's
There's a
H
law on that, man.
6191. Aram. Aram.
Look. See, to be subtle, to be shrewd, be crafty, beware, take crafty what? Counsel. Be prudent. In what? I got me a PhD. The nigga came on the camp laughing to the high of the nigga. What's on page 2, verse 122, you slow bellied nigga? He couldn't even tell me, but he came up to be prudent with his crafty counsel. See it? To be crafty, be subtle, to be crafty, become shrewd. That nigga said, you a rude brother. But you can't tell what's on page 2, verse 22 in your book? Come on, man. See it? Take craft. Take crafty counsel. Be prudent. Deal subtly. That's the so-called white man. See that? Hold on. Nah. The Lord said, see now, but I gotta stop. I gotta stop because if I don't stop, I'm gonna keep going. I got 2 more precepts to back this point up. So you think Adam and Eve was naked in the garden? No, man. They took a covering of the nation because the Lord took his truth from Adam. So they was butt naked spiritually. Revelation 16 and 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments. What else, Lord? Lest he walk naked and they see his shame. They gonna see his rod out? No, man. Spiritually naked, man. See, what the garments? I read in Isaiah 61. The garments of praise, man. Yeah. So often to go to the one in Genesis when it say Adam and Eve saw fig leaves together. But you know they wasn't in the garden butt naked. Because it say they in the cool of the day, they heard the words of the Lord. They heard the Lord in the cool of the day. That was the prophets, man. So they couldn't have been butt naked. Because the Lord don't get down like that, man. That's the Hamites. When they say Ham saw Noah's nakedness, the Hamites that's why Obama passed the bills on the LGBTQP, man, because he is a Hamite, man. It just makes sense. Lord was edifying to offer tuning in. May you help out Shema Shaka team bless you in your houses. May the blessing of Alexa be upon your houses. Again, I give all praise and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Kodash. The abundance to the apostles and the bishop and elders, a great millstone, who well, who teach well, who are the apostles and elders of all of Israel, ready to accept it or not. Since it's saved, taste the talk, doctrine, pushing this truth, and believing this truth, the four winds of the earth, the entire world, shed light to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the Abba who are listening, learning. If your sisters are listening, while tuning in, may you have about Shema Shaka team bless you in your houses. May the blessing of Alexa be up for your houses. Till next time, I say Shalom. Wow,